Hey fellas of YouTube, this is Robbie speaking, and you saw the thumbnail. We are going to be talking about Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. Now, before I continue this video, if you have not seen Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, you might want to because we are going to be going into spoilers. But if you've already seen the 6 shorts of Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, we can continue. So anyway, you guys already know what Star Wars Tales of the Jedi is about. It's basically these 15-minute shorts, maybe a little less or more than 15 minutes. But then you got 2 minutes worth of credits, so these shorts take place like around the prequel era. Like they're sporadic. Like one moment will take place when Ahsoka is born. One moment will take place when Dooku was training Qui-Gon. It kind of reminds me of Star Wars Visions. Like I know Star Wars Visions isn't really canon, but it did take place during like certain moments. Like what if it took place in like during the original trilogy, or what if it took place after the sequel trilogy, or what if it took place during the days of the Old Republic. I know people get turned off by animation, like they think like, oh, it's for kids, so it must not really be Star Wars, it must not really be canon. Well, let me tell you something. Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was like the first Star Wars animated show that I watched. In fact, it was a lot of people's first animated shows in Star Wars. That show was the best. It was the best piece of Star Wars content since the original trilogy. I'll talk about the Ahsoka shorts first, and then I'll do the Dooku shorts later for the other half of this video. So, for the first short, we have Life and Death. This is when we see Ahsoka as a baby, we see her parents, this elder, the village that she was born in, the woods that surrounds the village. It's a really cool culture. That's one of the great things about Star Wars, is that they know how to create different cultures on each planet, and it makes the Star Wars universe feel bigger. But the one thing that I have to complain about with this short is there was no Plo Koon, because remember at the beginning of the first season of the Clone Wars, Ahsoka said that Plo Koon found her and that he took her to the Jedi Temple. Sure, we already know that Plo Koon will find her, but it would have been so necessary to see Plo Koon. But instead, when the Elder just says Ahsoka is Jedi, it just transitions to the credits. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Really? Man. But other than that, this short is okay. And you have my favorite Ahsoka short, and that is Practice Makes Perfect. The reason why I really like this one is just shows how much of a different teacher Anakin was to Ahsoka compared to the other Jedi. Ahsoka is like going through these simple Jedi trainings, these exercises, and Anakin's just like, you know, like, we're gonna have to do something different because the problem is so many Jedi are used to that exercise that eventually they're gonna be caught off guard, and so are you. So I'm gonna have you do a different training exercise. And so all the clones, they aim their guns at Ahsoka with a stun rays, and she keeps going down and down and down and down and down until she gets it right. That's what prepared her for Order 66, because she knew how the clones worked. She knew their strategies, how they fought. But then you have my least favorite of the Star Wars shorts, and that is Resolve right here. Now, I don't dislike this one. I just... like, I'll get into that in just a moment, but what I did like about this short was the very beginning with Ahsoka going to Padme's funeral. How she respected Padme, how she told Bail Organa she was my friend, I had to come. Like, she looked at Padme like her older sister, kind of similar to how she looked at Anakin like her older brother. But then the rest of the short is with her living a quiet life on the farm. And apparently this was in the Star Wars Ahsoka novel, I think. I could be wrong, but I think this was in the novel. I haven't read it, but I heard it was good. Anyway, so she's living a quiet life, sort of, until someone rats on her. And so this Inquisitor guy shows up. And when you see this Inquisitor in the trailer, you probably wonder, like, how cool is he? How strong is he? But what was so disappointing about this guy is that Ahsoka just dodges him, takes his lightsaber, and just cuts his head off, and yeah. Prisoner guy just got taken down too quickly. Like, the Inquisitors are better than this. Before we go into the Dooku shorts, let's talk about Count Dooku, like, what I thought of Dooku before the Tales of the Jedi. Now, when I first saw him in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I was just like, Dooku's okay, but he's not my favorite. I like characters like Darth Maul and Darth Vader more. So Dooku was always the one slept on, and looking back, I kind of feel bad. Because even though Dooku doesn't look scary like Darth Vader and Darth Maul, it makes more sense because, you know, Dooku was the leader of the Separatist cause. So when you have all these other systems joining the Separatists, joining Dooku, like, you want your leader to be approachable, to be welcoming. And that's exactly what Dooku is. Like, if, say, pretend you're in the Star Wars universe for a moment, and you meet Count Dooku for the first time. You're making a deal with him, you know, he's being gentle with you, he's being welcoming, you're having a drink with him, you're just chilling with Dooku. He doesn't put out right away on the table like, hey, you don't do this, I'm gonna kill you. It's just when you get to know him more, that's when you see his true colors. Whereas Darth Vader and Darth Maul, they come knocking on your door, and they threaten you right away. Like, there is just no negotiations with those people. Now on to the Dooku shorts. Let's start off with Justice. Ever since Attack of the Clones, where Dooku mentioned Qui-Gon was his apprentice, I was always fascinated by that, but also kind of let down that we were never going to see that. Until the trailer for Tales of Jedi came out, and seeing these two together just brought me back to that moment in Attack of the Clones. I'm just looking back at that moment being like, yes, we're finally going to see it. And in this short, we see these two have chemistry, also a bit of disagreement, but also a huge respect for each other. Like, maybe Dooku viewed Qui-Gon as his son, maybe? And we'll get into the whole tragedy stuff with Qui-Gon later in this video. They are assigned to rescue the Senator's son in a rundown village. And the reason why it's rundown is because the Senator doesn't give a shit about these people. Like, he doesn't take care of them, he just lets it rot in hell. And so, Dooku and Qui-Gon, even though they disagree with the kidnapping, they see why. Even the Senator's son is like, how can my father do this? But the Senator is just so stubborn and is like, I'm gonna burn this village to the ground and burn all the other villages to the ground, and then I'm gonna kill you Jedi and everything, blah 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 blah. And so this forces Qui-Gon and Dooku to whip their lightsabers out, do some Jedi action. Dooku, on the other hand, takes it way too far. This is when he's just like, this is when he sees how corrupt senators can be for the first time. When Dooku's just about to kill the senator, Qui-Gon just gets in the way. He's like, no, master, don't do it. And you see that Qui-Gon represents the good in Dooku. Like, he reminds Dooku that he's still a good person. And so Dooku's just like, okay, I won't do it. Because had he had done that, he would have turned to the dark side a long time ago. This was a good short. Now on to the next short, which is Choices. I got my kitty here. We're going to be talking Star Wars. Okay, so anyway. So in this short, we have Dooku and Windu. They are investigating the death of a Jedi Master, a member of the Jedi Council. And so this leads into another conspiracy where the senator of that planet is corrupted. And so the guards were rebelling against him to make the planet a better place. The guards were saying, like, what was so corrupt about the senator? And so even though Dooku's like, I know we're enemies and stuff, but I kind of agree with you. And so Mace Windu is the complete opposite of Dooku, where the Jedi are just doing their jobs. Like, it's their job to serve the senators. And Dooku's just like, we're just puppets in this, you know? Like, you know, we're just pawns, you know? What's the point of this? This makes Dooku not just doubt the Republic, but the Jedi Order as well. Now on to my favorite short, and that is the Sith Lord. This delivered right here. We see that Dooku, we see what Dooku was doing during the Phantom Menace, the second half of Phantom Menace, like close to the end. We see his last interaction with Qui-Gon just before he died. And remember when I said back at the Justice short where Qui-Gon represents the good in Dooku? When Qui-Gon dies, the good in Dooku dies. He has no reason to stay with the Jedi. Like, he blames the Jedi for his death. I mean, he was already in league with Darth Sidious, but this is when he's just like, fuck it. Yaddle tries to talk him out of that. Like, she tries to be like, I know we screwed up. I get that. But you can turn around from this. Like, we can fix this. We can take the Sith Lord down. Just let me help you. But it's not enough. That was a cool fight, though, by the way. That was a really cool fight where they have their lightsaber duel, and she lifts the door, but of course it wasn't enough because she loses all her energy. We knew how that was going to end. Like even in the trailer, we saw death flags. When Dooku left the Jedi Order, he thought that he was never going to be a pawn again until this moment. This is when he realized that he fouled the wrong man. That everything he ever fought for was for nothing. And so he dies as the very thing he hated the most, a pawn. These shorts were amazing, and I just hope for more. Like, I really hope that we get more shorts, like, say, like, next season of Tales of the Jedi, we get these 3 shorts on a certain character, or that character, like, maybe 3 shorts about young Obi-Wan when he met Satine. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe Kanan, like, remember in the one Ahsoka short, Practice Makes Perfect? Remember when you saw Kanan? We can get more Kanan later in Tales of the Jedi, just saying. I don't know if I said this before as my complaint, but my complaint is I just wanted more. Like, I wanted more time, like time instead of just 15 minutes, or maybe even another short of Ahsoka or Dooku. If I had to rate the Ahsoka shorts, it would be a 7 out of 10. As for the Dooku shorts, either an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Like, they were just that good, but I already talked enough about it, so I'm ready to hear your opinions in the comments down below. What did you guys think of the shorts? Did you like them? Did you not? And if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.